This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Super J-cast. I'm Joel and Damon, joined by David McDonald's. How are you, David?
Great, right? I'm looking at my calendar right now. It's only a handful of days, 2 weeks, and we'll all be in our favorite city, Tokyo, and we all will be with our friends, and we all will be watching some great pro wrestling and drinking and
it's
eating.
The most wonderful time of the year.
It really is. It really is. And I already got my travel anxiety panic attack, so I'm right on course. We're doing good.
Got the tranquilizers ready?
I have enough stuff to get me through I think we will be well taken care of on that flight, to say the least. Keep the drinks coming, miss. Will be the line of the day. So, no, we're excited.
Cheeky little mood stabilizer to get you on the plane, and then your tranquilizers to see you through to all the way to Tokyo.
Yep. That's the game plan. And again, it feels much better knowing I have someone by my side doing it with me. So, everybody's excited. All our friends are excited. You should be excited too, even if you're unable to attend. I'm sure you're excited at home. We got the meetup at the Fridays.
I mean, what a moment it was for the fans, Damon, last year to be able to vicariously live through the moment where you and I finally met in person for the first ever time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was a moment. I don't know. It's so, and people meet new friends all the time, and I know that there's a lot of new people that are coming over. You could tell from a lot of the chatter in our Discord, and there's a couple people that I'm really proud of that are they also have maybe some travel anxieties and some just even social anxieties, and they're jumping into the pool, and I'm proud of them so much because I know that they're going to have a great time no matter what pace they go at. They don't have to go balls to the wall and turn into something that they're not. They can slowly dip their toes into the pool, but again, you're in the pool, and that's what's important. And I'm proud of those people. Can't wait to see those people. Can't wait to see old friends that we haven't seen in a year. We've got lunch and dinner reservations booked. We're doing all right for ourselves.
Perhaps the real Super J-cast was the friends we made along the way, Damon.
I would agree with that. It really, you know what? That's really of anything that we do this show for, aside from stroking our egos. it's the friends that we've made along the way. I would agree with that.
And yeah, of course, everyone loves us, Damon. Everyone loves our podcast. No,
really?
No one dislikes it.
Sure.
And you know how much I love getting listeners' responses to our show.
Yeah.
This is genuinely one of my favourites.
Okay.
I won't name the listener in question, but I love everything about it. Here it is. And I quote, "Come on, guys. 10 plus minutes discussing guys' junk. I was on the verge of turning it off."
Verge of is my favorite.
I know. That's what I love about it. I respect the tenacity, the strong style warrior spirit. He was on the verge of turning off, but he kicked out at 2.
Yep.
He powered through. And I'll tell you, David, he's in for a real treat today because it's quite a slow news week, and I figured we should start off with a trip to the Hunky Corner.
Hunky Corner. Haven't been there in a while.
So, you want to talk about some tasty hunks, do ya? Well, let's head on down to the Hunky Corner. Sponsored by Noah's Penis.
All right, what we got? We sending something via outer space to my mobile device?
I certainly am, Damon. So here we go. Nice easy one to start you off. So you got the WhatsApp to hand, yeah?
I certainly do.
Okay, here we go. I'm starting to sweat just thinking of what your response to this is going to be.
Okay, I'm excited. This is, oh, jeez Louise. I gotta
Tell the listeners what you can see.
Well, it's a shower with some frosted window design. There's a gentleman standing in there. I believe we all know this gentleman by the name of Sonata, right? His back is to this glass shower, again, with very well-placed, squiggly-lined frostings on a shower door window. Sonata is in this. He is completely naked. I can definitely make out an ass. There is an ass. He is nude. He is bare. No junk, but speaking of junk, because his back is to us. But, yeah, you can definitely see his hiney through this glass shower door. So, yes, look, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are feverishly masturbating to this image. I'm sure that this image itself has emptied many a load on a floor somewhere.
I was on the school bus going to school today. We've got a special bus that picks the teachers up. And Mally was coming in today because she was subbing for one of the other teachers. And I was on Instagram, and that picture popped up on my timeline, and I screenshotted it, and Mally sort of glanced over my shoulder, and she goes, "Hey!" And she looked at it, and she saw, a lithe figure in a naked bottom, and she thought, Joel's, he's looking at pictures of naked ladies again.
Oh, no.
Say again. And then she looked a bit closer and saw it was a man with a beard, and then she just gave me this look of just like pure disgust and loathing.
I'd be like, "This is for you. Here, I got you something." I know. Listen, I think we, whatever your sexual tastes lie, I mean, I think we hit all the corners. I mean, we're doing good service here. We're doing good service here. Yeah, I don't imagine just screenshotting. I want to go through all your pictures. Is what I want to do. I want to grab your just kind
The
of
state of my camera roll.
right, and I just want to be like, we should do that. That should be a game, and be like, explain that one. So yeah, they're probably nuts. All right, that's. I mean, for those that thirst for the New Japan Pro Wrestler, that one might be one you might want to turn that one into a wallpaper, for Christ's sake. Good job. And here's the thing: he posted it, right? It's on his account, right?
Well, he had to get someone else to take that for
Right.
him, unless he set it up with a tripod and a timer, which I wouldn't rule out.
Right.
But I'm assuming he asked one of his LIJ buddies or just a passerby, "Hey, would you mind just taking a quick snap here?"
Right? How does that conversation go? I mean, seriously, have you in your entire life? Have you ever been? I mean, maybe they stole the phone, but he posted it like he was proud of it. I'd be proud of it too if I had an ass like that. To be quite honest with you. How do you have that conversation? "Hey, I got an idea. I'm going to get in the shower and just take a picture." Okay. You know what I mean?
Also, we knew this was on the cards. Seeing the state of his pants during the World Tag League, because it was just like several millimeters of fabric away from basically exposing his buttocks anyway. So it's just the next logical step in his character progression, isn't it?
Yeah. It's and again, it's
First is the crying at Sumo Hall, and now it's showing his ass on Instagram.
we're getting all emotional ranges, Joel. That's what that is. All right, that's nice. I mean, that's a good way to start. Are there more?
Well, I was going to put you on the spot, Damon. Okay, so you picture the scene. You are the person who's taken the photo.
Yes.
And Sonata turns around. He does 180 degrees.
Oh.
You have a little glance at the downstairs department.
Okay.
Is it as big of a mess downstairs as it is upstairs?
I bet you. I'll tell you what. Well, first of all, we know that the average pro wrestler, Joel, is well waxed, well shaved down, right? They don't like a ton of body hair to begin with, right? So they're already probably taking steps from the chest and leg and arm perspective, right, to take care of all the hair, to make it a very smooth, very sexy look to their presentation in the ring. Add to that, I mean, listen, once you start, why don't you finish the fucking job, right? What are you going to do? You're going to leave that gigantic bush sitting there? No, of course not. I think Sonata knows. Sonata knows the right way to go, right? And if you don't know the right way to go, because I think this is where we're going with this, right, Joel? If you don't know where to go, we could tell you where to go, Joel. You know where to go, right? Where would you go?
I would go to the same place that listener Brian went when he wrote to us and said, do you want before and after pictures when I receive my Lawnmower 2.0? And that will be straight to Manscaped.
Manscaped.com. Absolutely. It's the sensation that's sweeping the nation right now. Cleaning up the junk. It's the law of the land around here at the Super J-cast. And why not? With 20% off and free shipping, it's a no-brainer at this point. Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say. Nobody goes crazy over the pubes, and it helps clean up, smell nice. That's the end of the game. That's the end game, right? Be like Sonata. He's cleaned up. Manscaped.com is where to go. 20% off, free shipping. All you got to do is use that code Super J-cast. Super J-cast. Put that in. And it's 20% off with free shipping. Joel, I'm a big fan of that Lawnmower 2.0. No nicks, no cuts, no nastiness. Nice, clean shave, easy to use, lightweight, and waterproof. From what I understand, you can use that in the shower. Once again, the wonderful, wonderful bath gel that I'm almost running low. I'm running very low. I'm running precariously low. So I got to reorder myself because I love the scent, and so do the ladies. And again, I am the big fan of that deodorant cream. Just that little extra touch, Joel, that puts you over the top, keeps you dry all day. Unbelievable products from Manscaped.com, 20% off. Super J-cast is the code. I use it. I'll tell you right now, I use it, and I love it. It's a Damon approved product, and I wouldn't bullshit you on that one. So go ahead, Manscaped.com. We love you. Holidays are right around the corner, Joel. You picking up any Manscaped over the holidays?
Yeah, definitely. I'm hoping to get a hold of some, maybe while I'm in Japan. That would seem like the perfect place to it because, transitioning on to my next thing I wanted to discuss with you, seamless segue here.
Right.
Oh, by the way, Brian, yes, we do want the before and after photos, and we will discuss them for at least 10 minutes.
Yes.
The other big piece of hunk news is the Tearaway Challenge, where you can now buy Tai Chi's Tearaway pantaloons, proudly modelled by Chris Charlton. Did you see this, Damon?
I did see this.
So, Swordfish asked us on Twitter, while you guys are in Tokyo, will either Joel or Damon buy a pair of Tai Chi pull-apart pants to do the Tai Chi challenge? So, Damon, the big question is how best to get involved with this. And here is one idea that I had.
Okay.
Manscaped Tearaway Challenge.
Oh, my God, yes.
Now, just describe to me what mental image you're seeing in your mind's eye when I say Manscaped Tearaway Challenge.
Well, we were going pantaloons at first, but now I hope it's this. We're not doing Brazilian waxings. Are we doing waxings? Is that what we're doing, Joe? Is that what we're doing?
This is what I'm imagining, right? Standing in front of the Tokyo Dome, hours before Wrestle Kingdom is due to start, wearing your Tai Chi Tearaway pantaloons, rip those bad boys off, and expose your freshly groomed pubic region to the world.
We might get arrested for that, Joe. That might be. We might not make it to the show at that point. We might be hauled away by the authorities. I like the idea of somehow incorporating the two. Let's put it that way. How do we do that? I mean, one, I think somebody's buying the tearaways. That's for sure. And I think that will be happening outside the Tokyo Dome. I don't know. It's going to be cold. I don't know if we're going to be able to. We're going to have a lot of tiny cocks, with the cold. I don't know if everybody's going to be thrilled with that. But something, we got to come up with something. We got to come up with something to cross the paths, cross the streams, if you will, with Manscaped and the we're calling it the Pantaloon Challenge. So I like it, but I just don't want to go to jail. Let's put it that way.
Well, let's up the stakes here. Kevin Kelly says on Twitter, can Manscaped and the Carolina Reaper Challenge be combined somehow in the future? Joel could do it. Nicole in reply says, I would wholeheartedly support Joel in this. And Gareth in the reply says, Kevin, you monster. I was just about to say, now Nicole's going to put up money for that too. Joel will do it, and that's why you're the monster. So, Damon, how about a Carolina Reaper Manscaped Tearaway Challenge?
Wow. All right, we need.
I don't know what that is. Explain that to me.
I don't know. Neither do I. It's kind of like, what exactly is this Texas death match going to be at the Dome? Okay, we got a lot of things. We got a lot of moving parts in this. So we have some of the most creative listeners on God's green earth. So I'm sure that they can come up with some interesting ways to incorporate that Carolina Reaper, that Manscaped, and the Tearaway Challenge. All right, we got to put our heads together collectively. It's going to be a hell of a party outside the fucking Tokyo Dome. I know that. That's one thing I can fucking guarantee. We're going to have a good time. We haven't even added the strong zeros yet, kids. So yeah, we're in for a good time. We're in for a good time. We might not make the 5th. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we'll figure something out, but we'll try and incorporate everything, and we're going to have a party outside that Tokyo Dome.
All right, staying in the hunky corner, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to get your hands on this product, which I'm sending to the WhatsApp as we speak?
Right. All right. Let's see. I still see Sonata's Heine. Oh, whoa! What the fuck is this? All right. Oh, all right. I see pectoral muscles. I see nipples. I see. I'm going to translate the tweet if you don't mind. Photo book: New Japan Pro Wrestling Pectoral Encyclopedia. Oh, this is right up our alley, right?
It's the New Japan Titty Book.
It's a New Japan Titty Book. Holy moly! Well, I love the fact, and it does seem a little bit more in more recent times that they are all about it. You know what I mean? They don't shy away from that shit. I love it. I love the fact that they do that. I'm sure that there's men, women, of all around the world that would be into something like that. And I love the fact that they are like, yeah, we'll fucking put out a titty book. Love it. Love it. So is it going to be all pictures of just titties and people have to guess who it is, or is it just going to be like hunky photo shoot?
I don't, but I tend to find out.
You do tend to find out.
We're going trawling through all the bookshops in Tokyo looking for this bad boy.
I don't think it's going to be hard to find. I mean, there's that bookstore right.
Go show the tweet to the attendants at the desk. Like, have you got this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if we bump into Harold at the time, Harold, where can I get the titty book?
He's probably selling them outside like an old timey newspaper guy. Titty book. You got your titty book. I'll tell you what, New Japan. They really know how to. They really know how to market, don't they? And I think that's one of those things that we'll be getting and reviewing on this show, right in our wheelhouse. They really seem to.
Yeah, I'll tell you who won't be doing that is the official New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast, if it ever resurfaces.
Wasn't there a tweet?
You can never beat us, whoever it is. I don't care if it's Chris, Michael, whatever. You're never going to top this.
I know.
This quality content. 18 minutes in the Hunk Zone.
Right. You're not. It's just not going to happen. And again, I know it's happening. So we'll just end it right here. We'll just cut it off at the pass. We don't speak Japanese, and we're not going to be able.
I was going to say we don't work for free, but
we don't work for free. Right, but look, it's just we want to do our show, and I'm sure they well recognize that, and so I'm not expecting a phone call anytime soon. Let's put it that way.
Sure, you don't want to just isolate the first 20 minutes of this show, send it to them, just
as a demo reel,
just so we can know for certain. Yeah.
I swear to God, if you just do it, we'll get Dan to just isolate first 20 minutes, and we just blind email it to him. Just blind email it to him.
Send it to Sugabayashi. Yep. Chris John can translate for us.
Yep. And just to get a clear understanding of where we stand.
Just give us some feedback. Just let us know.
Yeah, where can we improve?
We're doing wrong.
Right. Is it our mic positioning?
Is it the audio quality?
Yeah. Is it the mic positioning?
Is it my accent?
Do we have to cut down on our ums and ahs? No. think it's a little bit bigger challenge than that. Oh, fuck us, right? Fuck us. Who,
Oh, this is a very self-indulgent opening segment, even by our own standards.
Yeah. That's what we do. All right. And never beat us. But
Oh, yeah. The other little thing I wanted to mention was friend of the show, Jose Serrano, Maverick9412 on Twitter. He slid into the DMs to tell us, currently listening to the podcast and popped when Damon brought up Kawato and the woman dancer. She's one of the ring girls at CMLL and is married to CMLL's Tiga. So I sent you the link. What's her name? Erica Canseco. I won't say what your exact response was, Damon, when I sent you this Instagram link. But, thank you, Jose.
She is, she's my favorite. She is absolutely my favorite. I now follow her on the Twitter, right? I'm a follower.
And around the streets of Mexico.
Right. I mean, that is just right in the wheelhouse. And I'm sorry, I'm fawning. The last thing anybody wants to hear. But boy, oh boy, Erica Canseco, you are all right in my eyes. That is for fucking sure. Woo! So I'm all in on the Erica Canseco. Absolutely.
Let's get into the actual New Japan Pro Wrestling news then. Have you seen any of these Wrestle Kingdom promotional videos that have been dropping on the YouTube channels recently?
I saw a couple of them. I saw one that you were working on a little bit. Nice creative touches there. So yes, I have been seeing not all of them, but a few of them. Yes.
So the 2 points I wanted to bring up, 2 things that I think they stressed was, first of all, in the Naito and Jay White things, they did mention a few times that it was Naito that came up with the double title idea. And then in the Okada Ibushi ones, they were emphasizing the fact that Okada doesn't even want to win both belts. He was saying that if I've got a gold medal, why do I want to get a silver one as well?
Right.
So is it just me? Am I reading too much into this? Or is that seeming to point us in the direction of Naito winning this thing and Okada not winning?
I mean, again, I know we'll do predictions for the entire show. I can't get off that point that we've been talking about the entire year. And even longer than that, it feels like at certain points that this is a Naito year, right? It does kind of scream a guy who has nothing comes back with everything. Yeah, I mean, personally, I feel as though when we leave on January 5th, the whole, the where it started is where it's going to end, and Naito finally gets that thing that no one else in New Japan Pro Wrestling can lay claim to, and if that's the thing that makes him special in people's eyes, if that's the thing that gives him that extra little rub of being a top guy, then okay, cool. I'm totally down for it. Again, hindsight being 2020, people can point to, well, if they did that title change at the Dome at Okada before, you wouldn't get where you are now. You wouldn't have all those spectacular Omega matches. You wouldn't have both good and bad. You wouldn't have the good and bad. That being said, I still think January 5th, with the Super J-cast branded gun to my head, it's Naito that's walking out 2 belts.
Yeah, that does seem to be the direction that they're leaning in with the story. Of course, I mean, I'm trying not to go overboard with this because it's just little promotional videos, but that's the impression I got anyway. Other news, we have some opening matches for Wrestle Kingdom that were announced today, some pre-show matches, I assume. So you haven't seen these yet, Damon, so I'll just read them each, and after I announce each one, you can give me your thoughts on them. So we have 2 opening matches announced for the January 4th show. The first one, with a 15-minute time limit, is an 8-man tag. We've got Yuya Uemura, Yota Tsuji, Tomoaki Honma, Togi Makabe versus Alex Coughlin, Clark Connors, Carl Fredericks, Toa Hinare. And
I don't think you're going to be spilling the beans. didn't everybody kind of want to see a dojo versus dojo? If we're going to do a multi-man tag match and incorporate Young Lions, wouldn't that be a little bit more fun?
I think the problem was that two of the dojo boys who were around at the time when this was discussed, Narita and Umino, have both gone out on excursion.
Right. That's
so this match does feature all of the dojo boys, apart from the I've forgotten the fellow who was in the Farley dojo. I've forgotten his name, but it has everyone else involved.
All right. I mean, Young Lions aside, I mean, we're putting guys on the show to get guys on the show. Young Lions can wrestle on a big stage, and I think that's important because eventually they're going to be doing that more and more each and every year. I can't say I'm is anybody doing cartwheels over this? No, but I'm glad that there is a Young Lions match. Let's put it that way, and I think guys that the names that you mentioned worked hard throughout the year, so putting them on. Now, are these dark matches, Joel, or are these broadcast matches, or what are we?
They're listed on the website as opening match 1 and opening match 2, and then after that comes first match, Jushin Thunder Liger retirement match 1.
Gotcha.
So I'm assuming these are pre-show matches.
Okay. All right. Scale of 1 to 10, excitement, maybe a 3.
And opening match 2, 50-minute time limit, Satoshi Kojima and Hiroshi Tenzan versus Manabu Nakanishi and Yuji Nagata, which is a bit of a strange one because it's not like I'm opposed to seeing the dads wrestle at a tag team match, but we've seen this exact tag team match about a week ago during the Tag League Finals.
Right. What's the time limit they gave these guys?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. I think you said 50. And I was like, what? What will do? I mean, yeah, we just saw this. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm probably less excited than 2, 3. I mean, 2, 3. Is anybody going to go? Nobody. I don't know. I'm not feeling that. Why? Again, we can't be a little bit more creative with this. No, it just seems like this is just. They were here before. It's just like transferring carbon copy paper. I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
Nathan writes in and says, with the announcement of the opening matches at Wrestle Kingdom before the start of the main show, any disappointment there not being a New Japan Rumble, I was hoping to see one and would have loved the surprise element of it. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, I'm not opposed to seeing the dads, but I wanted a dad Rumble. Where's my dad Rumble?
Yeah, I want a dad Rumble. Here's the thing: as much as it's bullshit and it's always fun. Who's the next guy to come out? And then it's fucking Taguchi or whatever. And the element of winning it, and then the person who wins it gets some kind of title shot.
And seeing all the eliminations and the funny little spots they'd come up with.
Yeah, and they always bring back some legends, and you're like, it's fucking Scott Norton.
Cheeseburger.
Right. And
it's Kenny Omega. Remember him?
Right. And it's always like you would always see them walking around. Suidabashi and Korakuen area. You're just walking around and you'd be like, check it out. There's Scott Norton. I guess he's in the Rumble. Right. That was always a highlight. Seeing random pro wrestlers at a Tokyo Dome show that aren't on the show that maybe they're probably in the Rumble. Or like, hey,
what is Bob Sapp doing in this adult bookstore?
Right. That chin looks familiar. That red scarf. I wonder, could it be? Yeah. I know what this means, though. No King Haku. No Haku. Because he's in every fucking Rumble. I remember. So, yeah. All right. Well, there you go. I'm a little disappointed in that, actually. I would prefer a Rumble over these matches.
And we have we got a match for night 2 as well.
Okay.
So, opening match for January 5th is Never Openweight 6-man Tag Team Championship
There it is.
Gauntlet match.
Gauntlet.
We have the champions, Ryusuke Taguchi, Toru Yano, and Togi Makabe. Remember them. Facing the Chaos team of Robbie Eagles, Yoshihashi, and Tomohiro Ishii. LIJ team of Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Evil. The Suzuki-gun team of Yoshinobu Kanemaru, El Desperado, and Taichi. And the Bullet Club team of Yujiro Takahashi, Bad Luck Fale, and Chase Owens.
Gauntlet. Oh, fuck. There it is. There's our gauntlet for the Never 6-man. Dusting off those belts. I bet you they don't even know where they are. They don't even know where they left them. I bet you they can't even find them.
What do you mean I have them?
Right.
I'm the champion.
Right. Did you look behind the couch?
It says they're on Cage Match. You're the champion. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh, what? What was that? That might not be a bad match, though. There's a lot of
Call the hotel in Beppu.
Right. Did you leave that in the strip club? Did you leave your belt at that Longhorn restaurant? That could be a good match, Joel. I mean,
I like the gauntlet matches.
What's
I
that?
like them.
What's that?
I like the gauntlet matches. They're a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine.
Like, which team's going to be next? You excited by that? I wonder if it's going to... Yeah.
And all the same thing as the Rumble, like the funny little spots you'll get some wacky eliminations, you'll get some cool stuff in there as well. It won't overstay its welcome.
Again, there's a lot of guys in there that are pretty fucking talented. I mean, Shingo's in this fucking thing. Who else is in there? Chase Owens, you said. Bushi.
Robbie Eagles.
Robbie
Ishii.
Eagles. Ishii. I mean, there's some fucking talented people in there.
Despy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taichi.
That's not a... I mean, I would love to have seen them do something else, but all things considered, it'll be a decent 10, 15 minutes, that's for sure. I think it'd be... I actually think that match would be good. I don't think anybody's going to be like, match of the fucking night, but I think that's going to be a good way to start, right? Get everybody warmed up.
It's in the right place.
Yeah, it's going to get everybody warmed up and ready to go. So I'm actually okay with this to a decent degree. Look, we all know, what do we want to see Shingo in a singles match? Of course. What do we want to see Ishii in a singles? Of course. But they're going to make the best of what they got. You know that. So I'll take the positive spin on this one and say this will be good. It'll be fun. And it'll definitely get the crowd going and get us in a good mood. So I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
Give me odds then, Damon, on at the end of January 5th, we have Naito holding IWGP and Intercontinental Gold. We have Sanada holding Rev Pro British Heavyweight Gold. We have Hiromu holding IWGP Junior Heavyweight Gold. And we have Bushi, Shingo, and Evil holding Never Openweight 6-man Gold.
Wow, we're talking a sweep for LIJ.
Yes, with an LIJ golden roll call at the end of the night.
I mean, that would be a scene, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be a scene?
I've predicted that about 12 separate occasions since we launched this podcast.
That's going to happen, right? You're going to have the all gold LIJ standing in the middle of the ring, the streamers falling down. Huh. I tell you the one that I have a little bit of... All right, well, let's go through it. Do you... And again, just a quick yes or no. Do you think... I mean, it's literally rolling the dice, but LIJ can walk away never 6-man tag champions, right? That's not completely far-fetched, right?
Right.
Sonata beating Zack for that British title. You think that's doable?
Yeah, I would find it strange for them to go to all these lengths of elevating Sonata and give him a singles match at the Tokyo Dome and then have him lose. So, yeah, I think, I don't want to go deep into the picks, but just off the top of my head, I think Sonata could win that, yeah.
Strong possibility that could happen. Okay. Would you say a strong possibility that Hiromu beats Will Jr. title?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too. What else we got? And then...
Just that Naito fella.
Yeah, just that Naito fella. And again, we kind of opened the show with it. I said that's my prediction. And it's been that way for the entire fucking year. Joel Abraham, do you think Naito walks away as 2 belts?
Yes, I do.
Let's see. All right.
I've been saying it since what, January, I think?
Right. That's correct. All right. So look, it's all there for you, LIJ fans. This might be your night. This might be your night. Finally.
Do you want to timestamp the audio for this so we can
Yeah. We can edit
cut it into our January 6th show?
Yep. 9 Inch Nails hurt underneath, and away we go. Round 2. So no, here it is. I mean, we mapped it out for you. Take down your pants right now and just dream about that scenario come January 5th. You've made it. You did it. And all your hard work and all of your perseverance and all of your pain and suffering could potentially pay off January 5th. Oh, look at you, all excited. I see you. I see you smiling. I see you dancing around. I see you taking off your bra. What? I see it. I see it all. Very good. All right, what else we got, Joe?
Well, we're burying the lead here, Damon, because this means, of course, that we are getting 2 Wrestle Kingdom matches for Togi Makabe. So how many Tokyo Dome bumps do you think we get for Togi?
Wow, you got a good point. The bump count. One of my favorite bits here on the Super J. Again, he's first night. He is in that tag match with a bunch of young lions, right?
Yeah, 8-man tag with young lions, and then a gauntlet match for the never openweight titles.
Back bumps.
I'd say you'd be lucky to get 1.
I'm gonna set the bar at what's realistic. 2. I'm gonna set it at 2. Does he take again flat back bumps? Is Togi Makabe taking over 2 flat back bumps or under 2 flat back bumps?
I'm going under.
I'm going under 2.
I was going to say 0. My confident pick is going to be 0.
I have to make it. 2 is, you're like, okay, he's a fucking pro wrestler. I mean, but again, all the bodies that are in that ring that are going to want to do a lot of the heavy lifting and press and, get a little bit of a spotlight on them, especially in that fucking first match, the gauntlet match. Theoretically, they could be in and out in 10 seconds and no one would know the difference, and him doing nothing. 2 is a good number. 2 is a real fucking solid number. But I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under on the 2.
All right, next thing up on the docket is Number Magazine, which is a leading Japanese sports magazine, gave out their awards, and a friend of the show, Andrew at Puffin Brain, translated the top 100 most popular wrestlers as voted on by readers of the magazine. So I will send you this list, Damon, on the WhatsApp, and you tell me if anything surprises you there. I guess we'll just sort of concentrate on the top 10 there, and it also might be interesting to compare it to last year's results as well. So should be on its way soon. Chinese internet, help me out here.
I don't have it as of yet.
Phone not connected. Make sure your phone has an active internet connection.
Yeah.
Ooh, dear.
Yeah.
First Mesa Urzon, now this.
I know.
Okay.
There it is. There it is. Space. Isn't it amazing that you just sent me a picture all the way over there, all the way here? What a fucking world we live in. All right, number 1. Should we do 10? 10, 10, 2? Work our way down and up?
Yeah, I'll also send you the 2018 list as well by comparison.
All right.
So, what, shall I just read them out from 10 to 1? Okay, so 10 we got Kento Miyahara, 9 Kairi Sane, 8 Naomichi Marufuji, 7 Jiro Ikemen Kurishio, 6 Hiromu Takahashi, 5 Kota Ibushi, 4 Sanada, 3 Kazuchika Okada, 2 Tetsuya Naito, and 1 Hiroshi Tanahashi. And comparing that to last year, where we had number 10 was Minoru Suzuki, 9 Kairi Sane, 8 Kota Ibushi, 7 Hiromu, 6 was Ikemen, 5 Kenny Omega, 4 Okada, 3 Shinsuke Nakamura, 2 Hiroshi Tanahashi, and 1 Tetsuya Naito. So I guess the biggest points here are that Shinsuke Nakamura and Kenny Omega have dropped out of the top 10, and so has Minoru Suzuki. And that top spot has been, well, they've swapped, basically. Yep. Tanahashi and Naito have swapped places, so now Tanahashi is in top spot, whereas Naito was in top spot last year. But pretty close, the pair of them, in both years.
And if we want to use this as a predictor, last year, Tanahashi, second place, wins the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. This year, Naito's second, right? Walks away IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
I like your thinking. We've also got Sanada, who last year was 16th, has now gone up to 4th place.
Wow. Yeah. Looking through this list to see if there's any. Seems like they do a pretty good. This is a fan voting kind of thing. Fan votes for popular.
Yeah.
Okay. I just like to look at names that might not be just interesting spots. Shingo's at 12 this year, which I think is pretty nice. Above that, Kenny Omega, above Suzuki, above Will Ospreay, who's at 22 on this list. Jay White, 28 on this list. If that says anything or means anything. I'll tell you somebody who's higher than I thought would be, all things considered. I mean, it's a lower number, but Bushi's at 38. Above guys like Goto, above guys like Zach, above guys like El Desperado, above guys like Togi Makabe, speaking of.
Yeah, there's a certain sort of cult appeal about Bushi, and also the fact that he's in LIJ counts for a lot. But I was just looking at last year. Bushi was actually 23rd last year.
Wow.
Just pipped out of 22nd spot by Andres a Giant Panda.
Everybody loves the fucking Panda, though. Let me guess. So there's 100 people. And I'm sure you've looked at the list, but try not to look at the list now. I'm gonna see if you can guess. Who was the lowest ranked popular wrestler according to this poll on this list? Who is the lowest? Who is closer to 100 than any other New Japan Pro wrestler?
What, from New Japan?
Yeah.
New Japan. I'm tempted to say someone like Honma, but people like Honma, don't they? Honma or Yoshihashi.
Yoshihashi is on this list, but he is much higher than I thought he should be.
Yeah, people like him.
Yeah.
Inexplicably.
Yep.
I'll just say Honma.
That's not a bad guess, but no, it's actually Yo. Yo at 97. Yo at 97. For comparison sake, Yo at 97. Show 89.
Kenta 96.
Kenta 96.
Pretty low.
Yeah. I mean, again, these aren't, it doesn't seem to me like these are like face heel thing that really is not playing a huge dynamic in that. Trying to think. Makabe's at 66. Toru Yano at 71. Yoshihashi is on the list, 76. For those people who lose their mind over Will Ospreay, he is 22. Above him, in place number 20. Making the top 20 in this list, Joel, Taichi. That's something.
Wow.
That is actually pretty...
That is impressive.
That is pretty impressive. I mean, because he's in...
I should add that to my article.
You should add that to your article. Yeah.
I'm going to add that to my article.
Add it to the
You
article.
want me to add that to my article? I don't know if I should add it now.
That's, 20. I mean, Suzuki's above him. Ishii's above him. Liger's above him. I'm just doing New Japan guys. And then Hiromu, Ibushi, Sanada, Okada, Naito, Tanahashi. So the top 6 are New Japan guys. Again, Tanahashi, Naito, Okada, Sanada, Ibushi, Liger, Ishii, Suzuki, if we want to call him New Japan, which we should. And then Taichi. I mean, below Taichi.
He was 82nd last year, so he's climbed up 62 places.
Yeah. I mean, behind, let's put this in perspective. Tai Chi is above Osprey, is above Evil, is above Taguchi. Taguchi is above Jay White. What? Taguchi's above Jay White. I'll say that again. Taguchi is above Jay White. And then Bushi at 38, Goto, and that's pretty much the top 50. That's a pretty good showing for Tai Chi. That might be my surprise one of that list. Again, I don't know. Again, it's a fan vote, blah blah blah, whatever that means. But I'm sure they use it as some type of gauge to the success of how well they're getting their guys over, and Tai Chi has to be a huge success in 2019.
So if you want to read more about how big the success Tai Chi has been, keep your eyes peeled for the Voices of Wrestling end of year New Japan Pro Wrestling ebook, because there'll be a lovely piece about the Holy Emperor himself written by yours truly.
And it's good.
Right,
I read it.
Yeah?
And it's good. Real good. I love your writing. I told you that. That was the first thing
you're
when
too
we
kind.
talked. I said your writing is amazing. And what was the thing that you wrote? I wish I could remember what it was, but I remember the one article that you wrote that was like, this is really fucking good, compelling. It's good, compelling writing that gets you to think a little bit. That is the best I could say. It's thought provoking, fun, and a good read. And so that ebook that Voices of Wrestling does is really a wonderful thing. And every year I get it. And you should get it too if you're a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan. And over and above the fact that, you got Joel writing some really good pieces on guys that deserve the piece. So hats off to Joel Abraham. It's going to be good.
I don't know if it will be as fun as my Kenny Omega hit piece last year, which was the very first article in the book. But there you go. All right, sticking with awards, I'm going to send you another award here, which was quite a controversial one in the wrestling world, and that was the Tokyo Sports Awards. So I'm sending you a tweet from our friend Strigger, who does the Eastern Lariat podcast. Right. And the Tokyo Sports MVP for 2019 was Kazuchika Okada, who has thus won the most important prize in Japanese pro wrestling for the fourth time after 2012, 2013, and 2015. And here's was the interesting thing. The best bout went to Okada versus Sanada, not the New Japan Cup match, not the G1 match, not the Dontaku match, but it was the King of Pro Wrestling match, which had a lot of eyebrows raised. And I asked around about this. Apparently, it may have something to do with the fact that it was in the aftermath of the typhoon. So, from what I understand, for the local crowd, it was a very feel-good moment following all the the heartache and disaster that had struck, for people to enjoy a good wrestling match with two local guys and have something to cheer about. But I thought that was something that was interesting. And the technique prize went to Kota Ibushi as well.
Okay. Well, I will say this, that Tokyo Sports, they're not going to I can't say they're not going to be a show like us where we're nitpicking moves and, we worry about that in-ring action and all that stuff. So their match of the year criteria is a little bit different. I mean, I remember one year their match of the year was Okada and Tenryu, if we remember back to that match. And while it was an amazing match in the sense of Okada carrying a legend to what was a pretty great match. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say. I think it was more an emotional match than it was a great match, right? With Tenryu barely being able to walk, let alone wrestle, and that one match of the year. So again, they always have a little bit of a different criteria, and I'll go so far as to say, if in fact that is the reason that people felt a sense of pride, or anytime after a natural disaster, one of the things that people tend to lean on to get that normalcy that they talk about is sports, and we can put pro wrestling in that category as well, forms of entertainment. So if that's the reason, that's good, because again, sometimes this stuff that they do and we talk about isn't necessarily always about stars, right? And it isn't always about great matches to rewatch. Maybe it is about having to be there at the moment and feeling the energy from the crowd and feeling something that's a little bit bigger than pro wrestling. And so I don't necessarily have a problem with it at all, but I don't have a problem with it specifically if that's the reason, right?
The other interesting thing here was information provided by Kakuto Log. The 5 MVP candidates were Okada, Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay, Jay White, and Kento Miyahara. Of the 22 judges, Okada won 15 votes and overwhelmed Miyahara 4 votes and Ibushi 3 votes. Does that surprise you that, one, that Okada won, and two, that it was by such a landslide amongst these judges?
I think New Japan Pro Wrestling is a nice hot product, right? So they're in the business of selling magazines. So, having the guy who's the champion of the biggest promotion in Japan certainly helps, right? More people are going to recognize Okada. More people are going to New Japan Pro Wrestling events. And that's not to say that they're better by any, we're not saying that at all. It's just the facts are it's the biggest promotion. Who you're going to make that showcase of your biggest magazine issue probably of the year. Why not put the biggest star in pro wrestling to sell the most magazines? So, again, everybody takes these Tokyo Sports Awards a little bit with take them with a little bit of a grain of salt, and just kind of know the history throughout the years of, the pro wrestling media might not be the most on the up and up. We'll just say when it comes to coverage of pro wrestling. Those weekly magazines and all that. Okay, sometimes they have agendas of their own that they need to push as well, with the help of promotions and vice versa, and vice versa. So you can go through the history of Japanese pro wrestling and see how that has intertwined. And here's the thing too, it's the same thing back in the day with the Apter magazines and the Pro Wrestling Illustrateds and the Wrestlers and all that stuff. What do you think? All those fucking awards were actual votes tallied? No. I'm sure they worked them conveniently. How the years where they didn't get a lot of WWF coverage because Vince was locking them out of arenas for the coverage, and they had to get like a telephoto lens to sneak into an arena to get a picture. Coincidentally, look at Crockett winning all these awards. Flair, the Midnights, Paul Eller. Okay, there's a reason for this. So again, let's not think that these types of media outlets are 100% walking the line when it comes to objectivity and just reporting the facts.
Of course, Damon, the only awards that really count are the Super J-cast year-end awards.
Thank you.
We're currently sitting at 456 responses. We want to beat that total from last year. We've got 558. So we need 103 more to break that record. So if you're listening and you haven't already voted, please do get onto that. You can find the link to that posted on, it's pinned to our Twitter page, twitter.com/the Super J-cast. So if you haven't already voted, please pause the podcast, get on and do that, because some of these voting categories are on a knife edge and your vote could swing it one way or the other, unlike the British general election.
I was waiting for that. It is. They are tight. So again, get them in. And we just talked about the voting for Tokyo Sports. This is one avenue where at least once throughout the year, your voice can be heard with your vote. And you vote for, take the time, rewatch what you need to rewatch. Christmas Eve is the deadline. Christmas Eve. So, again, if you got to rewatch, by all means, but please participate, vote. It's again, I said it before, I'll say it again. It's the one place where you as a listener and you as a fan can kind of say this worked for me or this didn't work for me in 2019.
Okay, next big announcement this week was the New Beginning in USA tour announced. So on January 24th, we will be getting the show in St. Petersburg Coliseum, Tampa. January 26th, War Memorial Auditorium in Nashville. January 27th, Durham Armory in Raleigh. January 30th, Charles F. Dodge City Center, Miami. And February the 1st, Coca-Cola Roxy in Atlanta. Your thoughts, please, Damon.
There it is. I mean, we talked about it, right? We talked about how 2020 is going to be that year of New Japan Pro Wrestling being somewhat more of a touring company and hitting spots and cities all over the United States in those 4 pockets that were on that map. Northeast will have shows. They just announced a new beginning there. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some presence in April come Tampa. I don't think it's going to be a full show. You know, you're not getting a fucking G1 down there. But I wouldn't be surprised if they have a presence in Tampa. The West Coast will have shows. Texas will have shows. I mean, it'll be just like what they said. And I know that there was, whispers and me kind of speculating about New York City once again in a very big building, right? So again, I think 2020 is going to be that year that we've all been kind of clamoring for. Now, are these shows going to be in all of the biggest arenas in the cities in which you live? No, I think the sweet spot, as we well know, are 2,000, 3,000 seaters, and then maybe a bigger show sprinkled in periodically. Now, what that bigger show might look like, I don't know. Could it be a Chicago? Could it be Philly? Could it be who knows? But I think that the goal for these tours, 2,000-3,000 seaters, and with a sprinkling of big shows throughout the year, sprinkling with one show that could be, something big, something big, and something that's going to show people where this company really stands. So I think it'll do great. So
for some reason, David, I've just got a strong craving for a pastrami sandwich.
You know what? I saw that picture for that pastrami sandwich where we were, and you ate that pastrami sandwich in maybe one of the most iconic. And you had a New York sandwich. I mean, there's really not a more iconic New York City sandwich than the pastrami sandwich, and you had that sandwich at the world's most famous arena, as they like to be called, right? Madison Square Garden, last G1 Supercard. So I saw that picture and I was like, man, that's a really iconic shot of the Super J-cast and a pastrami versus you eating that sandwich inside.
It was better than anything ROH put out that night.
It sure was. It was a battle. It was a bloodbath. Man, I would love to see a rematch, right? Sometime, I don't know, summertime. I just think you in a comfortable pair of shorts. I don't know why. Pair of flip-flops and a pastrami sandwich, having a rematch. I don't know if anybody can pull this off, but boy, oh boy, wouldn't that sound great to have that pastrami sandwich rematch? Are you fuckers getting the hint?
So, some questions then about this tour. Dakota Ibushi on our Discord says, what's the quote-unquote worst lineup at a US show that you would still be hyped for? Honestly, a show with some combo of dads, comedy guys, LA Dojo Young Lions, and US-based guys would still be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot of what we saw in Lowell. No. Well, I mean, we saw a lot of names on that East Coast. I liked that East Coast tour. I think that was a good one. I mean... I think, here's the thing. While I don't think that you are going to be getting unbelievable, blow-away, ticket-moving cards for these shows, mostly, I think what you're going to get are shows that are very similar to what we saw on the East Coast. And those East Coast shows were really good. They were fun, and they had good moments, fun moments, good pro wrestling moments. Again, do I think that every pocket of the country is going to get what would be considered a major show level quality? Probably not. But I think at the very least, I think what you'll get is an experience like the people who went to Hammerstein or went to Lowell or went to Philadelphia on the East Coast. Those type of shows, I think, is kind of going to be the norm for New Japan Pro Wrestling on these tours.
And a question from Jay Reezy Min on Twitter. He says, with dates announced for New Japan of America, does that mean show favourite Lance Archer drops the belt on one of the Wrestle Kingdom nights? Can we stop this if so? Who do you think would be the right man to take that US title forward to those shows? Because I think there is a strong case to be made both for Juice and for Lance.
Yeah, I mean, to me, there really isn't. I would take either one at this point right now, but personally, I'd like to see Juice do that. I'd like to see where Juice stands as a guy who's going to be counted on to be the top guy on these shows. You know what I mean? I don't know if we've seen that level from Juice yet, in the sense that he's going to be the guy dependent upon to be to use this as almost like a testing ground for him to be that kind of guy on a show. So yeah, I think Juice with that title would be nice, just to give him that taste of, okay, you're the locker room leader, you're the top guy, whatever that case may be. I think that might be a good challenge for him and another rung in his career. So let's do that. Let's do Juice on those.
And something we mentioned last week, this was confirmed in Wrestling Observer newsletter, that Dragon Lee / Ryu Lee signed a 1-year contract with New Japan after meeting with Naoki Sugabayashi and Tiger Hattori in secret when they were in Mexico. CMLO wasn't aware of the meeting or that Lee was signed.
I'm not even going to. All right. Okay. That's what he was told, and that's what he reported. Good. Excellent. I find it... this is not Brody getting off the train and jumping ship, right? After the tag or during the tag tournament. Secret meetings. It wasn't really that secret, because we just sat here for weeks being like, New Japan should just fucking sign the guy and be like, we're signing the guy. We're still friends though, but we're gonna. I mean, that's
just like the idea of like Sugabayashi, I don't know, sneaking out of Arena Mexico. What are you doing here? I'm just watching some lucha. I love lucha. What?
Right. I'm here all the time, dude. What are you saying? What? I can't fucking hang out with my friends? Who's that guy? Larry? I don't know. Yeah, he said like a trench coat and a fucking fedora. Great.
Did you just sign Dragon Lee? No, I definitely didn't sign Dragon Lee.
Dragon who? I don't know a Dragon who. Who? Never saw this guy in my life. You're Facebook friends. Well, I didn't. Listen, I don't. We saw you at dinner. That wasn't him. Wasn't me. I was having coffee with the guy.
No, that was Ryu Lee. Different.
It's different. It's a different guy. Looks like him. Different guy. Different guy. Fucking unbelievable. Secret. All right. What else we got?
All right. Well, let's dig in. That's all I've got. Let's just dig into questions then. Unless you haven't watched the British J-Cup yet, have you?
No, I haven't watched the British J-Cup. Have you watched the British J-Cup?
I did. I watched it this afternoon.
Oh, what you think?
So all 5 matches of that are uploaded to NJPW World.
All right.
Can't say that there's anything that I would say, you've got to go and watch this straight away. It's all in the 3-star range, sort of between 3 stars, low 3s, high 3s. Nothing blow away good, but I just found it interesting just to watch Michael Oku first of all, and some of the other guys. There were some good matches on paper. The Cavernario versus Robbie Eagles match was pretty good. Amazing Red versus Pac, that was decent. A lot of El Phantasmo. So if you're into El Phantasmo and you want to see a lot of El Phantasmo being El Phantasmo, then you're really going to enjoy this. But yeah, I mean, if you've got a couple of hours to kill, then I wouldn't recommend against it. Sure.
What's the biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway, I don't think that Michael Oku is yet ready for New Japan, because he was good, but I didn't see anything that made me think, oh, we've got to get this guy in Best of the Super Juniors 2020.
Gotcha.
I don't think he was sort of head and shoulders above any of the 20 guys who were announced for it last year. I think he could do with a bit more seasoning.
All right. That's fair. That's a fair objective take. All right.
And he's still young, so he's got time. I think he'll be there eventually, but maybe not next calendar year.
Okay. All right. Again, if it's a step in the right, right progression, then okay. All right. But that's I appreciate that. I'll check it out. I'll probably check out the final match at the very least, and then we can go from there. How's Cavanario? Everybody goes crazy over him. Yeah, everybody.
I like him. I'm a big fan. Although, I mean, British J Cup, that's ostensibly a tournament for juniors. I'm not sure he's a junior anymore. He's quite a thick, beefy boy.
Yeah,
Kabe-chan.
Yeah, he's got that Trent Beretta Juniors thing going, right? World's biggest fucking junior.
He looks like he might have eaten several juniors.
Really? Oh, he's getting that way. A little too much carbohydrate? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I don't put words in my mouth, Damon. Come on. just saying he's a big boy.
All right. Listen, I can talk. I'm a big boy. All right. So Joel giving the old three-a-roos, the gentleman threes for the British J Cup. All right.
Right, so we got Road to Tokyo Dome cards coming up. Maybe I'll just go through the cards of those, and you tell me if there's anything there that excites you. Because all three at Korakuen Hall, and remember last year on this tour we got the amazing Golden Lovers versus Ospreay. I was going to say Ospreay and Tanahashi. I don't actually think Tanahashi did anything in that match, but he was in it allegedly. So this will be starting on Thursday, December 19th. We've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 back-to-back nights in Korakuen Hall. So we have Jushin Thunder Liger final match in Korakuen Hall 1 with Rocky, Taguchi, Honma, Makabe versus Uemura, Tsuji, Tiger Mask, and Liger. Second match, we've got Hanare, Finley, and Juice versus Farley and God. Third match, we've got Evil and Sanada versus Dangerous Tekkers, Taichi and Zack. That one could be quite good.
Yeah, that would be good.
Fourth match, we got Roppongi 3K, Ishii and Goto versus El Phantasmo, Ishimori, Yujiro and Kenta. Fifth match, Tanahashi and Ibushi versus Shingo and Naito. So another, on paper, tasty looking tag match there.
Talk to me about that. Let me digest that one. What do we got? Tana and Ibushi, Shingo and Naito?
Yes. So the very fact that Ibushi and Tanahashi are teaming together, I think, is quite significant.
Yeah. You think what? You think that's going to be a thing? You think it's a thing?
I don't know if it's happened before, and given they've had this kind of passing of the torch rivalry thing going with Ibushi referring to him as God and being unable to beat him in the G1 final last year, and then managing to defeat him in the G1 this year, and now they're tagging together and they're having the leader of the Hontai faction open. I don't know. I just think there's some significance to that.
I'll tell you what, just on paper though, that match is going to fucking be great. Might be...
and also bear in mind, particularly got an eye on Shingo here because he's a guy who doesn't have anything particularly strenuous going on at the Dome. So you think maybe he could afford to put on a bit of a show in these Korakuens.
Oh, again, I love these Road 2 shows leading up to the Dome. I always find them to be, at the very least, fun. Some of them are really strong. That match on paper, that's wow, that's a good one. That could be great inside that build. Right, with Shingo, he's got a little bit of energy to give. All right, I'm down for that one. That's for sure. All right.
Sixth match, we got Yoshihashi and Okada versus Chase Owens and Jay White. And the main event, Hiromu Takahashi comeback, Robbie Eagles and Will Ospreay, the Birds of Prey, versus Bushi and Hiromu Takahashi. And again, that is one that on paper looks really, really good. And of course, it's Hiromu's comeback match. So that's a must watch, right?
Yep, without question. I think without question.
So you got 3 really sexy matches on this card.
On night 1. Yeah. And again, Liger, with one of his last stops at Korakuen. Yeah, this is a fucking really good show, actually. Yikes. I mean, a lot of tags, but that doesn't mean they can't be good. That's a good fucking lineup. That's a chest pumper right there. All right. That's a good way to start. All right, then we got night 2.
So Friday, we are opening with a singles match. We got the two beefy boys, Hinare and Yota Tsuji, going at it in a singles match, which I think could be really good. Then we have Uemura, Honma Makabe versus ELP, Ishimori and Fale. Third match, Jushin Thunder Liger, final match in Korakuen Hall 2. So this will be his penultimate match in Korakuen Hall, with Roppongi 3K and Liger against Rocky, Taguchi and Tiger Mask. Fourth match, Shingo and Sanada versus Dangerous Tekkers, Taichi and ZSJ. So that, again, another one looking good. And I always enjoy seeing Dangerous Tekkers teaming together. So that one could be decent. Fifth match, we got Finley Juice, Ishii, Goto versus GOD, Yujiro and Kenta. Sixth match, we have Tanahashi and Ibushi tagging again, this time against Chase and Jay White. And main event, special 8-man tag, Eagles, Ospreay, Yoshihashi, Okada versus Bushi, Hiromu, Evil, and Naito.
Not bad. Not bad. Not as good as night 1, at least on paper. But I even think like the Chase Jay White, Shingo, Chase Jay. Was it Chase Jay White against
Tanahashi, Ibushi? Yeah,
that could be pretty good, right? That could be pretty good. Again, nice interactions leading up to the Dome. That could be good.
And big spots for a guy like Chase Owens, who is not in a big singles program at Wrestle Kingdom, to prove, I mean, obviously he's there to take the pin, you would think, but to prove that he deserves to be there and to, make a statement that he deserves to be higher up the card.
Yep. Yeah. I think that match on night 2 stands out for me. And yeah, given Chase the opportunity to be a focal point, that might be a sleeper for match of the weekend. Might be a sleeper. But even that main event sounds pretty good too. With Okada, Chaos guys against who are they going against? What we got? I'm sorry.
I don't know because I just closed the tab.
No, I'm sorry. All right, but it's good. We know it's good. All right, and then night 3, right?
Yeah, so night 3, that'll be on Saturday. We have Uemura, Tiger Mask, Makabe versus Tsuji, Taguchi, Honma. Then we've got Eagles and Roppongi 3K versus Yujiro, Phantasma, and Ishimori. That one could be pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Third match, Bushi Sanada versus Dangerous Tekkers, Taichi and Zack. Fourth match, Hinare, Finley, Juice, Goto versus Fale, God, and Kenta. Fifth match is a nice one, Ishii and Ospreay versus Evil and Hiromu.
Woo! That one is good. Okay, I dig that.
That one could be stealing the show, I think. Sixth match, we've got Shingo and Naito versus Chase and Jay White.
Again, I'm okay with that. Okay. All right. Two back-to-back really good matches.
And then the main event, Jushin Thunder Liger's final match in Korakuen Hall. We've got Rocky, Yoshihashi, and Okada versus Liger, Tanahashi, and Ibushi. And I'm strangely excited, well, I don't say strangely, but excited to see more Okada versus Liger, because there were interactions between them at the World Tag League final that really made me want to see a singles match between them. We're not getting a singles match, but seeing them face off in Liger's final match at Korakuen Hall will be a little treat before Christmas.
Big time treat, right? Big time treat. And
snow.
And snow. And if Liger's not there doing snow angels in the middle of that fucking ring, there's going to be a riot. Yeah, and it will be emotional. And it will be a real wake-up call to everyone that Jushin Thunder Liger is going to be a no more in just a couple more days, which is crazy to even say. But, yep, here we are. Here we are. Now, let me give you what they should do. Rocky's on that other squad, right? What do you got? Okada. I know you hate me for doing that, but what is it? Okada, who, and Rocky?
Bear with me. It was Okada, Yoshihashi, and Rocky.
Okay. So Yoshihashi or Rocky Romero are going to take this fucking fall, right? This is how they should.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to say, out of these 3 Liger matches at Korakuen, what do you think Liger's win-loss record is coming out of those 3?
I think they win the match. All right, here's how they should do it. Liger should fucking hit a shooting star press or some whatever on one of those 2 to take the fall, right? Either Rocky or Yoshihashi, right? Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
should be done.
Okay. So you get Rocky eating a Kamagoye and a high fly flow, and then a shooting star press, something
Right,
like that.
something like that, right? But however it is, Jushin Thunder Liger should be getting the pinfall win inside Korakuen Hall. That's how it should happen. How it will happen is like Tanahashi pinning fucking Yoshihashi, right? With everybody brawling outside the ring. And then Liger's team wins and the snow falls. Do me a favor. Please. Anyone at New Japan Pro Wrestling that is listening to this broadcast, I'm begging you and pleading with you to just leave
Save
a note.
Liger from himself. I know he doesn't want to win the match.
Right. I know you're going to hear some things from the guy saying, no, I'm not going to win. Just leave me in the... I know you're going to hear it. That's he's a humble... I get it. I love it. It's a quality all human beings should have. A little humility. Absolutely. Not tonight. This...
Shoot on him. Force him to pin you. Roll
Right.
yourself up
right.
underneath him.
I want 3 guys on that team to be on their backs, and he can pin any one of them. But you better be on your fucking backs, all right? And don't get up. Ref, just count the fall. Because this man needs to go out on his last night at Korakuen Hall, getting the pinfall win. Snow, standing there with beautiful bodied Ibushi, the legend and ace of the company, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and the legend himself, the man who is retiring, and dare I say, the greatest pro wrestler of our generation. Jushin Thunder Liger. That's how it should happen. And you're welcome, New Japan Pro Wrestling, for making this magical moment for you and your fans, because Liger should be getting this pinfall. Finally, should be getting a pinfall in this match.
All right, let's dig into some questions then. On the Discord, Tyler says, with the likelihood of an angle coming out of one or both of the 8-man tags on night 1, is there a chance that we see a match added for night 2, since there are only 7 matches on the card right now? So I believe that's 7 matches, not including the pre-show match.
Okay.
Do you think that there's any chance that they're just going to randomly or on less than 24 hours notice throw in, let's say, Shingo versus Suzuki or something like that?
I'm going to say no. And if they were going to do something like that, I think Dash is a perfect opportunity, because you can make shit up on the fly, and it would make sense. So
yeah, and sorry, all the people that you might have hoped would be in a kind of match like that are going to be in the Never Gauntlet match. So no, it's not happening.
yeah, I can't imagine it happening. Not at the Dome. Again, Dash, I think all bets are on the table. So if there is any hope of that, that's where I would pin my hope. But Dome, no, I think that's pretty fleshed out right now.
The only person who is notable by their absence from this Gauntlet match lineup is Minoru Suzuki himself. And I don't want to read too much into that, but just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
I mean, I know that the rumors were out there, and I know that there was talk, if I'm not mistaken, it was Flagship, right? Who were the first to kind of talk a little bit about Suzuki maybe moving on. Give me a number in your head, scale of 1 to 10 of that happening.
Pretty low. I'd say a 3, because I think he is on the promotional posters for New Japan Cup.
Okay.
So I think there's been some speculation that he might be working the Noah show on the 5th. I don't know if the card's already been announced for that, actually, but I might be totally off base on that. But
really,
yeah.
That yeah. So
I might be completely wrong, actually. Just disregard that, because
you know who else?
I don't know where I heard that. I just definitely heard some sort of Noah Suzuki rumors.
Okay, all right. We can start other rumors too. Okada's going to be on that Noah show. You know that? He's going to walk in. Noah. How about Noah? Can we talk a little bit about Noah and them running Korakuen? head-to-head on the 4th? Isn't it? That's a pretty ballsy move right there, right? Is it? Yeah, no. Is it? Yeah, it's head-to-head on the 4th, and then they're doing like a morning show on the 5th, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That 4th show is a from what I understand is a pretty loaded show. Like they're that's not just like a throwaway nonsense show for Noah. They got some beefy matches on that. What are your feelings on that? Because here's my feelings on that. I really don't know who that helps running that show. Again, literally neck to neck against the Dome. Because there are people that would want to see that match, those matches, and that show. They could sell out Korakuen if they made it just any other day. I'm just really curious as to their mindset of why they would do something like that. Like, what would be... Because, again, the only people that they're hurting is themselves, it feels like. Now, I do know of one or two people that are like, all right, well, I'm going to go to this Noah show because they're a little bit more of a Noah fan than, say, New Japan. And that's their prerogative. I mean, they're fans. Do what you want. But I don't know. I just think they would have more people and more interest and more buzz, and it would sell out 100% if it were any other day. I'm just curious as to why they would do that.
I don't know. I mean, the sort of people who like subtweet us on Twitter would be the sort of person who loves Noah and hates New Japan. You know, people like Kyle. So maybe they're aiming. Maybe they're going for people like him who just wouldn't watch New Japan in the first place. I don't know. I'm joking, but yeah, it's weird. I don't get it.
I mean, look. I mean, if you like Noah more, right? If you're a bit more passionate Noah fan than you are a New Japan Pro Wrestling fan, I mean, that's cool. Do go. I mean, definitely do that. I mean, of course you would. So I'm not knocking the people that would do it by any stretch. I'm more question of why would a promotion do that? Again, and here's the thing: even if you want to run like somewhat of that card is stacked. That Noah show. I mean, I don't know. It just leaves me scratching my head because again, the only people that they hurt, it seems like, are the people that would want to see it, and there are people that are going to go to that Dome show, knowing that that was still on the table too. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. Oh well. Okay.
I think Mally's locked herself out of the house. While I let her in, I'm just going to read out this question. Mr. Sloth, well, it's not a question, actually. He says, I know he's a broadcaster and not a wrestler in NJPW, but surely Gino Gambino is in the list for most improved in 2019. The trio of Kevin, Gino, and Chris are fast becoming the number one team in wrestling. So I'll leave you to talk on that, Damon, while I let Mally in.
Okay. All right. I don't know how she locks herself out all the time. I think they're doing great. I think they are great. I think they've established themselves as the top broadcast crew. I think Gino has improved tremendously. And I think everybody was kind of a little skeptical in the beginning. And even his first performance, everybody thought, okay, that was good for a first performance. But I think he's gotten more smooth, more natural. There's become more chemistry between not only him, but him and Chris. Everybody enjoys Chris for when he gets into the historical, the informational, right? I think that's where Chris's wheelhouse is. I don't know if the comedy is always on point, but you can say that to anybody. And, of course, Kevin directing traffic. That's not an easy thing to do, to take, if you think about it, two guys who have no professional broadcasting experience, and to make that work. Let's think about that for a second. It's not like Kevin Kelly's plopping in two guys who has done work for all these independent promotions and Ring of Honor or even Pro Wrestling Guerrilla or even anything like that, or had a cup of coffee with the WWE or TNA or anything like that. I mean, Kevin Kelly has taken two people who have strengths, broadcasting-wise strengths, and plays to that magically and makes it work. Name me another promotion or let me take that back. Well, promotion, because promotion has to trust Kevin to be like, okay, yeah, let's go to this. Let's go this direction. They got to trust him to do that, and for him to be able to say, okay, yes, he doesn't have any broadcasting experience, but here's what he brings to the table, and here's how we can use him. Here's Gino. Here's what we can do with him. Here's how we can make him an integral part of the broadcast. That's pretty great if you think about that, over and above the fact that he's, arguably the best play-by-play guy in pro wrestling today, and the man hustles his ass off helping grow this product in the West and English speaking. So, and then on top of that, calling matches, right? And actually doing the work that he's paid to do. So, to answer the question, to be a most improved, I think, correct. If we had a category, a separate category over and above the pro wrestling aspect of most improved, yeah, absolutely. I think Gino would absolutely be one of those people that you could put in that category and get plenty of votes, because, kids, let me tell you, that color commentating shit is not as easy as it looks. Just saying, right? Just saying. You back?
I'm back, yeah, and agree with everything you just said. Falcon asks, are you guys surprised by how low Liger's retirement matches are on the Wrestle Kingdom card? What do you think of the fact that they are opening the main card of both nights?
It's going to be a great opener. It's going to get everybody involved. At least the tears will be done by intermission. You can go clean up, right? The sob.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because I guess if you put that, the retirement match on the 5th as the semi-main event, then there's a chance that the emotional high of the climax of that match bleeds over into the main event and compromises the excitement and drama of that match. And you don't want that happening.
Right. This is a completely different emotion than what you want to close a show with when it comes to the biggest shows of your year, right? It's a different type of emotion. This emotion is the thank yous and the we're gonna miss you, and we appreciate what you've done for this business, and give us one more, and give us that's what this is. But you don't want to end the show with that. You want to end the show with build, and then a big crescendo at the end. Whereas it might be a different emotion. It's going to be a great emotion, and it's going to be a. I will say this: this might be the one show or two shows where emotionally you're more on a roller coaster ride than you have been before, right? So we're going to go all over the pro wrestling map when it comes to that. So. While it might seem weird, I think it's actually a really good spot if we're opening the show with that. And let's be honest here, getting those guys to the ring, a lot of those guys are a little up in age. They got to get to that. They got to get down that ramp. It's gonna be a long walk. So let's open up the show with that, and again, everybody have a good time and celebrate pro wrestling there, and then we get into the meat and potatoes.
Teja says, thoughts on the ACH situation. Did he have any issues in New Japan like he did with ROH and WWE?
Not to my understanding, but specifically with New Japan. As a matter of fact, I know that they enjoyed him and he enjoyed being there. I will say this, I remember back and I think I remember hearing things about him being an issue in locker rooms before. He had some trouble with ROH, or something about dates and flights and stuff like that. So I can't say that his record is impeccable when it comes to stuff, but nothing along the lines of what he happened in WWE, and that just that fiasco. In which, again, to me, he has every right to kind of did what he did. That being said, I don't, and I will also say that I purposely stay away from Twitter drama. Period. It just makes me. I can feel my body chemistry change when I know I'm in it. So I'm out of it. Right. I don't want to be involved in it. that being said, I don't even know why. Maybe Joel, you can help connect the dots for me. Why was Jay Lethal brought into all this?
Because ACH called him an Uncle Tom.
Right? Why? Like, why?
Oh, why?
Yeah. Why would that be?
He
a
did
thing?
go into that.
Did he?
I can't remember exactly what he said.
Okay.
Though.
All right. But I just find
ACH details why you ripped Jay Lethal. Yeah, I can bring it up for you here.
Okay. That was weird to me. Like, I don't know why that was brought in.
Okay. Lethal slapped me in a hotel room because he didn't like me using the N-words, which he uses as well. He tried to pull my bish cars in front of the locker room, but I defended myself. I hit him back and took him down, and I was told I had to apologise for it because it would be in my best interest. Jimmy Jacobs, a person who I respect, was the reason I felt I had to. When I went to Lethal, he never apologised to me for putting his hands on me. All he did was tell me how he's felt with racism, etc. But not once did he ever say, my bad for hitting you. So to this day, I'll say it loud and clear, I don't like him, I never will. Stop asking me to apologise for what I've said, because I won't ever. ROH Locker was the worst time in my career for me. I'm over it, I don't get to talk about it. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, he's not the only person to say that, that's for sure. Okay. Then then that's why he was brought into it. And he explained it. That's that. I think ACH in New Japan is a wonderful idea. And when he left, I remember sitting on this show saying, "Oh, that's a loss because he's a talented guy and he looked like he had fun and he looked like the promotion, knew what to do with him." I love the tag team that they had. Look, bring him back. I would. I would. I think it would be a nice mix, and I think here's another thing too, and I think it would. And I can't speak for the dude, but I think it would get him in a better headspace because right now it feels like he's in a bad space in his head, just with pro wrestling in general, right? And if that is a place that can bring him joy, and if that's a place that he can show his talents, and New Japan can use those talents, I'm all in for that. Right? I think it's a win all the way around. So yeah, to answer your question, I would have no problem bringing in ACH to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Vice Hazuki says, will Hiromu and Naito fight at the anniversary show to become 3-belt Hiromu/Naito? I think there's a distinct chance of them fighting at the anniversary show, but that's a non-title match, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, usually. Well, I mean, not usually, but in the past it has been, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, no, we're not going to get 3-belt Hiromu or Naito, but I think that could be a really fun main event that I think a lot of people will be into. Yeah. Top Shagabush says, who would you guys have take the junior belt off Hiromu, and do you guys see a very dominant run in this title reign? I guess the obvious answer is Ryu Lee. How long do you wait for that, though? How long do you build that up? Do you think that is something... Could you put that at next year's Dome? Do you want to hold off for it that long? Or is you thinking maybe a Dominion?
Dominion? Something in the summer? I think, that would be the natural match to make, right? It's been building up. The rematch,
because putting them together for this Liger Sano match is a very clever positioning of them, because you got the historic rivals of Liger and Sano, and then the modern day rivals of Hiromu and Ryu Lee. So them putting those two guys together is very heavily signalling this is the junior rivalry of this generation.
Yeah. I think that's a clear message, right? Yeah, that there's that those two guys being in that ring wasn't by happenstance. So yeah, I think that's the future of
even though it was going to be Bushi if it hadn't been for the secret signing of Ryu Lee.
right. I think everything worked out in the end. So yeah, I think Hiromu and the former Dragon Lee will be the program that we'll see in 2020.
Michael says, what's with his Chase Owens mini push? Getting lots of wins instead of Fale. What could be his ceiling? Perhaps taking Fale's G1 slot. I think there is some upside in pushing Chase Owens as a guy you want to feature possibly on the mid-card of these USA shows. Maybe to be an occasional challenger for either tag belts or the US title. I know he has challenged for it previously, but that's where I see Chase Owens sliding in. His ceiling, could I see Chase Owens getting into the G1? Possibly. I wouldn't stake my money on that happening this year, though.
Yeah, maybe not this year. Maybe, I mean,
I think there's more people ahead of him in the queue, basically.
Yeah, I do. But here's what I would have wanted for Chase in 2020. This is my Christmas gift. If we're giving out gifts under the tree, and it's all wrapped, here's my gift to Chase Owens: a singles program where it is a dedicated focus of Chase Owens versus blank, and there is either there's a reason for it, right? Whether it's a title, or it's a blood feud, or I want a dedicated singles program for Chase Owens, right?
He had the little one early in the year with Juice when he knocked him out of the New Japan Cup and then challenged for the US title. So more of that sort of thing?
Yes. I don't want him just to be the talented guy who takes pins in high-profile tag matches. I want him to have a program. I want him to have a focus. I want him to do interviews talking about these matches coming up and the rematch coming up because I fucked over this guy or this guy fucked over me and we got to settle this. That's what I want for Chase Owens in 2020.
Austin Pickle says, what will be the Wrestle Kingdom victory that surprises you or shocked you the most this year? Personally, mine is Jay White winning both belts on the 5th. I would say Ospreay beating Hiromu would be a big shock because I'm fairly certain Hiromu is going to win that one.
Okay. I would say this to that, though. You know, New Japan loves, and again, it's not his first match back, technically, right? But New Japan does love to show that, he was out for a long time and injured, and he just didn't have the strength or the stamina or the whatever to keep up and get that win in that comeback match. They love to do that. I don't know if Hiromu is the slam dunk everybody is saying it is. I'm
also just saying that with a caveat that I think Ospreay is bound for heavyweight, so I think this is his way of transitioning.
Right. So I kind of feel that way too, and I think there's enough to point you in a direction of Hiromu winning. But again, understand that is always on the table with New Japan. Guy comes back from injury, guy doesn't always win, right? And I will say in my mind, I want to say that the majority of the times they don't win when they come back from these big injuries. So let's just keep that in our back pocket.
Okay, next question is Roshbag, who says, Joel, I listened to an older podcast and you mentioned Kawato likely going to LIJ because Naito paid him special attention. Could you elaborate on that? I tried Googling it but couldn't find anything. I'm super curious. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm going to try and look it up now. But anything comes to mind, Damon, for you with Kawato and LIJ?
Yeah, so when LIJ would go to the ringside, LIJ pretty notoriously treated all the young lions like shit, with just random beatdowns. And he would go to Kawato, and he would, specifically point him out to open up the ring ropes, and specifically kind of place the LIJ hat on his head, and Kawato would knock it off. So there was a lot more of that interaction of Naito being more playfully, a little bit more interaction with Kawato than any other of the young lions, and it did feel like it was almost to the tune of Naito. I wouldn't necessarily say welcoming Kawato to the idea of an LIJ joining the crew as their young lion, but there was all that. There was a time where it was LIJ focusing a little bit better treatment on Kawato, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, next question. The Big Milkman. I know it's a little early to ask, but what do you think the big matches are going to be at this year's New Beginning? I think we've got to do something with the person who wins that losers match. I don't know if you immediately want to hotshot them into a title program, but I think there's a fairly decent chance, if that plays out, that we have something like Ibushi versus Naito for the belt at Osaka-jo Hall. Or I could see it being Tanahashi versus Naito for the belt. Maybe if Tanahashi beats Jericho. Could go in a few different directions.
Yeah, people seem to forget about that match, that Jericho-Tanahashi match. I think, like I said, it's hard to say because you don't even know what you're going to walk out with after night one, and I think Dash will play a lot into what we see coming out of that, coming out of Dash and going into New Beginning. So, I mean, we could speculate, but honestly, I think it would just be all just. We don't even know we don't even know what night 2 of the Dome is going to look like. We could project, but I think there's a lot of question marks that still need to be answered, and it might be completely different than what we even think the direction is going.
Mixelplick says, in a recent response to a tweet by John Morrison about squaring up against the best in the business, CM Punk said something along the lines of, quote, Will Ospreay isn't in that promotion. What are your thoughts or feelings on this? After Punk pissing on wrestling for so long, I assumed he didn't know shit about shit. I don't really have any interest in what CM Punk has to say about wrestling or wrestlers. I think he just said that to try and be like, oh, look at this guy, he's shooting and he's not playing by the rules.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it because I definitely was a big CM Punk fan, and the idea of him returning to pro wrestling to me was an exciting thing, and I do believe he brings a certain energy. But this none of that means anything to me. Like his pro wrestling takes now, like on what's going on in pro wrestling now, it's like so. Like I could care less. It's mean. It really is meaningless to me. So no, I wouldn't. I'm glad he knows who Will Ospreay is. Let's put it that way. I'm not sure how many Will Ospreay matches CM Punk has sat down and watched. So, he was in his MMA mode and his career and training to do that. So I don't know how much time he had to sit down and watch Best of the Super Juniors. So yeah, I mean, to me, anybody on the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network is a little bit more accurate indicator of what's watchable, what's not, where should I be putting my attention than anything CM Punk talks about pro wrestling at this point.
Liam says, Noah, because they are the best, have a show called Noah Full Gift. It's a Christmas themed show. People wear costumes. New Japan now has a Christmas show. What are some costumes people wear? Thanks. So imagine the possibility of a New Japan Pro Wrestling themed Christmas show.
Well,
what wrestlers do we have? What costumes are they wearing?
Well, I mean, look, if we already have a Manscaped challenge, tearaway pant thing that we have in the works, I don't really know that. Who knows? Like Halloween costumes, or I don't know what
Christmas.
we're doing.
Who's dressing up as Santa in the New Japan locker room?
Fale. Right? I mean, he's the biggest.
And is he giving out presents, or is he just bad luck falling people?
Bad luck falling people and cigars. Everybody gets cigars. Everybody's going to get a salute and a cigar. Sergeant Santa.
What do I get for Christmas? Bad luck, Santa. Fuck him.
Right. And a beret. So that's Santa. Who's doing? I don't even know what. I don't know.
What other Santa characters are there?
I don't know.
I mean,
Rudolph?
Christmas characters.
Yeah, is it Rudolph?
Who's Rudolph?
Who the fuck's Rudolph?
Kanemaru, because he drinks a lot.
Yeah, red nose. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one. That makes sense. What other? Who's? I don't even know who the fuck Christmas characters are at this point.
Robbie Eagles can be a little festive Christmas elf.
That's Chris Charlton. Just kidding. We love you. Come on. All right. What else do we got before we get into too much?
All right. Leo says, if you can have 3 wrestlers from the WWE main roster who never appeared in the G1, who would you take to participate in 2020's G1? Okay, I'd take Daniel Bryan, because I think he's still very good. I would take Roman Reigns, because I also think he's good, but it's horribly misused. And Rusev, because I like him, and I think he's a good wrestler.
Okay. Got to be main roster?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know who's on the fucking main roster. And they had never worked in a G1 before?
Yes. So I guess that's ruling out AJ Nakamura.
I would go Cesaro, Kevin Owens, probably Daniel Bryan. I think it's
good picks. Steel O'Neill, pop quiz. Can you name the only wrestler to date, I think, to get a shot at winning the IWGP Heavyweight and IC titles at the same time? Answers on a postcard. To be honest, I know of the one time it happened. There may very well be more.
So the match was for both the Intercontinental and the Heavyweight? Is that the question?
I believe so, yeah.
Let's think about this. Was it MVP?
I don't know. He hasn't told us the answer here.
Oh, all right. Then, all right. I don't get.
Let us know, Steel O'Neill.
Yeah, please.
Slide into the DMs.
Right. Oh, fuck. And we think about it all day. I won't be thinking about it all day. Give me one more. I can do one more question.
Okay. Podmania Pro Wrestling Podcast. Who should have been an IWGP Heavyweight Champion who never was?
That's a good question. Who never?
I feel like if Suzuki had been with the company full time, like without popping in and out of other companies, then he should have been one.
I think I might have to go back a little bit. And again, politics and everything that occurred and everything that there are plenty of reasons of why it didn't happen. Maybe Maeda. Maeda might have been the guy. I mean, you figure what he was able to do with pro wrestling, and what he with UWF and UWFI, and I mean, he changed pro wrestling with his style in a certain degree, because he was viewed as one guy who was a legitimate badass, and then one kick that was in some eyes cowardly, but truth be told, it was one of those things that launched him to a stratosphere that was very few people could touch. I would probably, sitting here right now, say Akira Maeda would be my pick as the guy who should have been in some way an IWGP Heavyweight Champion. But whether he went on to bigger things, and there's not many guys you can point your finger to say, okay, oh, he's never a champion. Oh, but he has become literally one of the biggest stars in all of Japanese pro wrestling history. That's saying something.
All right, are we done then?
Yeah. I got to get cracking. I'm already getting notifications for work, so.
Oh, can I just do one more little one? Because I just wanted to get this in. Wallation Tyrant says, decided to pull the trigger and make my first trip to Japan, staying near the Dome and planning on attending whatever shows are going at Korakuen the nights leading up to Wrestle Kingdom. Any other events that week you guys are looking forward to? Only one answer, Damon. It's our lovely beef lunch with Fraser.
It sure is. I cannot wait to have some lunch with the man, the myth. We love him, and he is a great friend of the show. So yeah, that is going to be protein full. So I'll be in good shape come showtime for the 5th. So that's good. But again, we got our little thing at TGI Fridays. So come by, stop there. You're gonna have a great time. I'm happy that you're going to be there. Come see us. Come say hi outside and catch up with us. you're in for a treat. It's going to be a great time.
All right, so in closing then, if you haven't already voted in our year-end awards, please do that. Link to that is pinned to our Twitter page. You can visit redcircle.com/shows/super-j-cast if you want to show some appreciation, throw a few bucks our way. Big thanks to our sponsors, manscaped.com. Use promo code SuperJcast to get 20% off and free shipping. Our Discord server has lots of cool stuff going on, lots of chat, lots of plans for meetups in Tokyo, so get on board with that. Again, link to that is in the show notes. Visit prowrestlingtees.com/SuperJcast. Get one of our t-shirts in time for Christmas. And I've just commissioned the wonderful Tapler/Blue Lotus to do a brand new t-shirt for us, which I'm very excited about. So watch this space. That one should be coming pretty soon, maybe within the next month or two. Big thank you, as always, to Editor Dan. Visit his YouTube channel and on Twitter, Escape the Box UK. Subscribe to the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network for other great shows. Give us a 5-snake review on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at SuperJcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and goodbye.